So looking forward to
Hi,
seeing you.
hi.
Hello, James.
How's it going? You all right? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and you. Yeah, I'm just saying there before when I was chatting. This is the first interview that I'm doing that I've never met the person I'm interviewing. So welcome to the little show that we've got going here, and thanks for your
Yeah,
time.
thanks very much. I've
Okay,
been watching your last ones and enjoying it, so they're all very good. Good
okay, but
content.
thanks. Now, I just want to do some formalities just to start off with, so when we wrap it up on Instagram, people can see what we're doing. My name's Andrew McKenna. I'm the founder of the African Turf Academy down here in South Africa. I started the program 2011 to get young golfers trying to become golf course superintendents, and the journey has taken us to that point. And now, just during lockdown, we're doing a bit of fun to engage with some of the top guys around the world. And James, your name came up, so that's a good compliment to you. So thanks for your time. And James is the golf course superintendent, course manager. How do you
Course manager, yeah, course manager.
the course manager at Royal Cinque in Kent, right next to Sandwich, which is meant to be hosting the Open this year. So we're going to touch on that. So again, thanks for your time, and I'm going to kick off with a couple of simple questions for you, like the others. Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Okay. Trees or no trees?
From a golfer's point of view, trees. From a greenkeeper's, no trees.
Okay, good answer. And the sea or the countryside?
The sea.
Okay, good stuff. Well, you are right next to the sea, and believe it or not, during our conversations with James leading up to this, we found out that we went to the same school in Scotland,
Crazy.
which is quite amazing. My parents did move back to Scotland when I was 16. They moved to Dumfries, or just outside Dumfries. I joined a club up the road called Powfoot as a 16-year-old and pursued my dream of being a professional golfer from there. And I went to St Joseph's College for the last 2 years, did my hires there. And
You probably did a lot better than I did.
I don't know. I got through them, but just golf was my main priority then. Okay, so it's a small world.
Yeah, it definitely is. I know the course manager down at Powfoot really well, and obviously Alan Patterson really well when you were probably there. It's a
Yeah,
great place in the world. Yeah.
Alan Patterson was the club champion when I was growing up, and he was the head greenkeeper now. I believe he's is he at Turnberry now?
Turnberry, yeah, and I think he's still a bandit up there.
Yeah, he's too good a player. Always has been. Okay, right. So first of all, we just start off. Give us a background into, the idea of this show was really just to give our students the opportunity to see the various opportunities in the golf industry, how the golf industry is so vast that there's multiple opportunities. So how did you get into the game? Did you start playing?
We built a golf course around our school. All the kids, and one of the boys, Diggory's name was, had a little hand mower, and we mowed out greens and stuff. And one of the holes actually went over the school building. So if you thinned it a little bit, there was a window gone. But we that's what we did when we were kids. We used to play golf. I grew up in the countryside near a farm, so there's a lot of farmland, and we just built golf courses around these farm fields. And as I said, I worked in a farm, so I was obsessed with tractors. And we went to St Joseph's College. I didn't do too great in my exams, and I went to the careers advisor, and she said, "What do you like doing?" I said, "I love farming and I love golf." So she put it into a computer and came up greenkeeping. She says, "We've got you an interview next week at Elmwood College to do NC." So went away. My mum took me up for an interview, got through, and never looked back since. Really, I've done 3 years at Elmwood, split up, got an HND at the end of it, and I spent 8 years at Dumfries and Galloway Golf Club learning my trade, which couldn't have been a better place to learn because I had a really brilliant boss, and he let you jump on everything, and that's kind of how I adopt my thinking now to my guys and my apprentices especially. I want them to learn everything as much as possible because that's the opportunity I got, and I think you make a better greenkeeper that way. So I was 8 years there, and I finished being deputy before I left, and I wanted just to get some life experience. So I went into Europe, went to work in Norway, Oslo, which was a great golf course. Micklegard, Robert Trent Jones, Creeping Bent, every spring destroyed by winter kill. So that was quite cool to learn how to grow grass back from death. I've never done that before. And then came back to Scotland.
Is that where you were with Derek?
No. I came back to Scotland after that. I worked at Gullin Golf Club. So that was where I had my first taste of links golf. Gullin's another beautiful place, and God, tough working conditions there with non-stop wind and rain. And then I met Derek at Kings Barnes when that's where we worked together. So I was 3 years there, maybe a bit longer. And I shared a house with Derek in Anstruther, so we got up to a lot of mischief together.
Yeah, Gullin. One of our local pros won the Scottish Open at Gullin a couple of years ago. Brandon Stone.
Right. Yes, he did. He almost shot 59, didn't he?
Missed a putt. Yeah. Okay, so then you went on to Kings Barnes, and then
Kings Barnes, and then worked for Innes Knight, another one of my best bosses I've ever had, and he's actually turned into a really good friend now. You know, which is fantastic, and I speak to him a lot. One of the best guys in the business, and he pushed me to go on and get back to management level after that.
Innes continues to help us down here through Derek. We send a student every year to the Alfred Dunhill Links, so we've still got some nice ties there.
He's fantastic, and he runs a great setup up there. Everyone's super motivated and happy at work, and you can't not be happy at work when you see the scenery you get up there. And after that, I had another crack at management, so I went and did a construction growing for Kyle Phillips in Sweden at PGA National. Things didn't work out great for me there, to be honest with you. It was there was a lot of reasons, and if I'm totally honest with myself, maybe I wasn't mature enough to stand up for myself with a lot of things, and I learned a lot from that. And I came back from that, and Grant Frogley and Lee Strutt gave me an opportunity to do the construction growing at G West up at Gleneagles, and that was my turning point in my life, I think, especially with Lee. Lee's I don't know if you know Lee Strutt. He's my mentor now and one of my best friends, and he was exceedingly hard on me. I think he's seen a little bit of promise and moulded me and whipped me into shape. And I really it was a very difficult job. You know, the working conditions were hard. It was during the recession. And then that's when I started doing my public speaking quite a lot, talking at colleges about construction growing and employment. And then the deputy's job came up down here at Royal Cinque Ports, and by that time I was with Jenny, my now wife. We didn't have any kids, and we were like, let's go for it. And we came down and seen the place and fell in love with the weather. I was happy to leave Gleneagles area because of and Craig will probably understand that just now. It's the most beautiful place ever. I mean, the golf course at G West no one knows about it because it's a secret, but it is the most incredible golf course in the world. And
where is that?
So it's over the fence of the Queen's Course at Gleneagles, and it's built by Maher Al Tajir, who is the Highland Spring owner. So they're waiting to open it. It's been 10 years in the build, but they're waiting to open it until the financial climate is right, and it's a sensible thing to do. But it's a one-off. You'll never see anything like it when it does open. It'll be straight in a world top 100, I can guarantee you. But I was happy to get away from rain and wind to come down here. The weather down here is really good, really good. And after I was 2 years as deputy, and the job came up as for course manager, and the secretary offered me it straight away. I was very lucky, and I've been 5 years as that now, and it's every day. It's like you kick yourself job kind of thing, you know. I really, really love it. It's great.
Well, you've obviously got some good influence in the turf world up there, because the viewing figures for this is through the roof. So there's lots of people watching this, which is great. Okay, so let's just go on to your current role. There's two questions I've got for you. One is, how do you find working on the same course day in, day out, year after year? How do you keep that interesting for yourself? What do you do to stay, fully engaged all the time? What have you got advice for that?
For me, it's very, very easy, because we've got so many goals here at Royal Cinque Ports that we're always trying to achieve it. It's not like we're going to a course that's already the finished article, and you just need to keep it the same. Like here, every year I've got a 1 year plan, 5 year, 10 year of everything we want to do, and this golf course has been developing at the speed of knots over the last 5 years, whether that be construction work, new irrigation systems, and until this the COVID crisis, pandemic, sorry. I was starting to look into building a new reservoir, shed extensions. Our team's getting larger. We're making huge improvements on the course every year. I mean, I can't wait for the golfers to actually come back. A lot of them haven't been here since all winter. I'm looking forward to it. That's the whole devastating thing about this for us, was we worked so hard all winter to open the course in the spring, which is our busiest time because of the Halford Hewitt competition. We've got 640 guys and girls descend on this place for a week, and we're really looking forward to showing it off, and it never happened. So that'll come again. But we're always progressing, and it's impossible to get bored. It really is.
Okay.
Always something to do.
All right, so we're going to try and stay away from the COVID-19 conversations today.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me.
Okay, so the last question is, we'll touch on that a little bit, but how is it affecting? What's changed now since the Open's not coming this year to your area? I mean, that must be a massive blow to the area.
Huge, yeah. But I mean, I think the best thing to have sight of is the fact that it's not cancelled. You know, it's been postponed. We were worried that it would be completely cancelled and then we wouldn't get it again the next year. There's a lot of gossip about that, and it kind of put the fights up a lot of people, especially like me. I live in Sandwich and really close to Royal St George's. I know the guys at St George's well, and they've just burst their backsides over the last 7 years to get it ready. But it's not over. You know, it's happening again next year. But the effects this year is obviously we've lost a lot of green fee income that we were kind of counting on. But the club's in a decent position, so it's not like shop kind of job, you know. So we're kind of obviously probably spending our reserves that we've had in the bank or whatever. But it's not a complete disaster. I think it could have been a lot worse, but we'll recover from it, you know. That's the thing. But yeah, we were looking. We had tea time sold from I think 6 in the morning right the way through till probably 6 at night. Yeah, and just packed the place right out, and then we were looking forward to having maybe pros coming down or whatever. But it'll happen again, you know. We get to be positive about it, and I think I'm so happy for the members and the green staff at Royal St George's that it's not going to be lost, you know. Yeah,
well, it sounds like I'm reading the media this morning. It sounds like golf might be reopened in the UK soon. It sounds promising. But we won't get into speculation. Okay, well, as we go through this, we'll get some questions thrown at us every 15 minutes or so. So Andrew Gibbs is asking, would you ever look to move to an open venue or try to get Royal St Paul's on the roster? How would you go about doing that?
I really believe that Royal St Paul's has got the quality to hold an open. There's no doubt about that. The issue being it's like a 9 out, 9 back St Andrews style with very little space in the middle. So I think that probably looked upon unfavourably. However, we would be the best ladies open golf course, women's open golf course on the planet, without a doubt. I could imagine, and I think about it all the time, I would love to host something like that, or a Walker Cup or a Seniors Open. But I think, a ladies for us, I can just imagine flipping the hole. So our first hole is the 18th. You could put a huge grandstand down it and round it, and it's a tough test. But we've got so many great different tees that we could use that for the ladies. But an open would be the dream. But I think we need to be realistic, and we'll see. But we've been putting in the effort to get us to that kind of standard, and I think we've proven to the RNA that we're easily a good enough course to hold a big major competition, depending on what it is, whatever it is.
Okay, very good. Okay, the main topic of this conversation with you today, I want to focus on education. I know you're very passionate about that. When I started on the process that we went through, or the journey that we've been through with African Turf Academy, Jacobson have been a big supporter of us since the beginning, and I've been doing some homework on the FTMI program that you're now involved with, and Nick Brown from Jacobson back in 2012, I believe, spoke to Jim
Mm-hmm.
Croxton from Bigger, and instigated the Future Turf Managers what does the I stand for?
Initiative.
Initiative. So which has been a huge success, and I believe you were one of the original students, and now you are a lecturer, trainer, mentor on that. Tell us about that initiative.
So you have, obviously, you've got John Deere do their Sawgrass one, and Toro do Student Greenkeeper of the Year. Jacobson, for them, this is the only one that focuses on management. It's not about agronomy or about anything. It's just purely management and how to get yourself to that next level and what you do when you get there. It gives you all the tools. And in 2013, lucky enough to be one of the first 20 odd, I think it's 20 guys in the class, guys and girls. And is this still working, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, you're still going.
That's it's come back in again. Sorry. Yeah, and in 2013, I was one of the first guys, and I think in that there was probably about 20%. No, I would say 60 or 70% of these original 20 now are course managers. So the turnover from FTMI to get to course manager level is huge, and 3 years ago, I think it was Sammy and Jacobson had asked me to come back as a mentor, which I was a bit overwhelmed at doing. I didn't understand why they would ask me, but unbelievably privileged to do so. And every year that I do the mentorship, I'm as nervous as any of the guys in the class. I did first. This is Craig Haldane's first time this year, and for me, sitting beside these guys, I learn as much from them, and I feel that I'm a student still in these classes because I sit right there. It's like a Alan Sugar boardroom, and we all sit around this big rectangular table. And the mentor's job is to pipe up every time the lecturer says something with a bit of life experience or their input or whatever. And at night we do question answers, and then we take the groups aside into small groups, and we have a group of 7 guys that we give close mentorship to, and that might be mock interviews. And I'm a nightmare in that because they don't expect it, and I'm really awkward. I'm like the really awkward committee member that says, what do you need a new roller for? We've got a farmer next door that says he could borrow our roller or whatever, and they get in a tiz. But we try and make things as real as we can for them, so they're prepared for it. And it's teaching about budgets and how to empower staff and motivate staff. And it's I mean, Craig Haldane he's the absolute master at these. He'll be a mentor for a good few years, and they'll probably ask him to come back and lecture on it as well. And you have Les Howkins from Richmond doing the budget class, which is different class this year. But it's people from outside the industry that are coming to lecture in it. Michael Astrop, he's fantastic, and these are guys who train. They'll go into Barclays Bank or Coca-Cola or all these big companies, and it'll cost Jacobson a fortune to do, and it's a brilliant initiative. And I can't tell people enough how important it is to try and get on something like this. And if you don't get on this year, just keep trying. It's like the Bernard's trip or the Sawgrass. Don't be disappointed if you don't get on first time, because I think Sammy said there was about 100 people put in for it this year, and it's been going for about 7 years now or something. So it's like 140 people gone through it, but you just got to keep trying. And yeah, I love it. It's 3 days. It's very, very intense. It's 7 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, non-stop. Yeah. And it's at dinner you get to have a drink and stuff, which is nice. It's well needed after that, and then it kind of loosens you up for the question and answer session. But I'm glad it went ahead this year. I did it after all that.
So how do you find the difference between being the student to being the lecturer? Do you see it much as the same, or?
It's totally different. I think you need to be more switched on being a mentor, because you can't sit and kind of daydream away. Like sometimes if you're a student, you get 20 other guys in the class that can maybe take some heat off you. But if you're a mentor, if you're drifting away and the person who's talking says, Bledge, what do you think of that? I don't know. I was going to sleep. And I mean, as greenkeepers, we're not used to being in class situations, are we? we find ourselves drifting off because it's hot. You know, I sit in, Jacobson are great, they have loads of sweeties at the back of the room, so I'm as high as a kite eating on sugar, eating all these sweeties and drinking cans of full fat Coke and stuff to keep me coffee, keep me awake. But no, you've got to be on the ball, definitely. And I think you've got to think about what you say as well. You know, you don't want to be giving these students bad advice or talking gibberish. So, you know, but I think I've done all right so far. But I've really, really enjoyed it. And as I say, what an honour to be asked to come back to that. It's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But your name popped up a few times to me, so hence my request to get you on here. so you're doing something right. Okay, I'm going to start asking you some a little bit more technical questions now. What do you? Okay. What tips have you got to manage your work-life balance? Obviously, a greenkeeper, the grass never stops growing, the club the expectations never drop. How do you manage your work? What tips have you got to manage your work-life balance?
It's so important that you don't have burnout, isn't it? So, I mean, for me, I've been lucky. Well, I've worked really, really hard on building a team that can take pressure off me. I'm very good at delegating things, and I've got a team of 11 guys, and 5 or 6 of them could run the course on their own if I was to bugger off for a month or 2 months or whatever, even longer. They're all first class. So I think by building your team up so they know exactly what's going on, being very transparent, having no secrets, showing them everything. I mean, the guys, I do talks for them, so I show them my budget, our plans, and so they know exactly what's going on, and they probably actually don't need to employ me. So I think if any of my board are watching this, like, you would probably say something in me, because these guys are so good that they can do it all. And I think that's my biggest tip to anyone is to try and build a team or empower your team and train them up so they can do a lot of the work for you, essentially. Like, you know, but it's obviously I do all the planning, etc. But one other thing that's really great about my job here is I've got an incredible boss. My secretary, James, he's pretty much a bit younger than me, which I love to remind him about. But we've got kids the same age, so he's very understanding about, like, me and my wife, we don't have any family down here. We're completely on our own. So childcare has sometimes been an issue. So I'm allowed to manage my time around that as well. So this year I've stopped working on a Wednesday, and I work a full day Saturday instead. And I'm sure if standards had dropped, James would be the first person to tell me, but he lets me get on with things and manage my own time. He doesn't pry into anything. I'm completely almost like my own boss here. I just have to report to him every now and then, which is fantastic, and it could not work better, in my opinion.
And developing your team up to the standard that you feel like they can manage without you, it doesn't put you at any risk, or you don't feel insecure with that in any way?
No, I love the guys when they can better themselves. In fact, I've had 4 guys here. I've had Greg. Greg was my deputy. He went to course manager at Hailing. Darren was my first assistant. He's course manager at Chesfield. And Lee, my last deputy, has just gone for course manager at Cinque Valley. Chris, my assistant, first assistant now at Prince's. So I've got a real push for the guys to try and better themselves. And no, I don't feel threatened, because I know that I need to work hard to make sure that I'm always one step ahead. It keeps me on my toes. I've just brought a guy in from Wentworth called John Hockley. And John could probably be head greenkeeper now at another golf course, no problem. And but having these guys underneath you, and a lot of the times they question you, and a lot of times they're right, and you've got to be a good enough person to say, yeah, you know what, I was wrong about that, and you're right. I think we've got almost, without being too cliche, we've almost got like 11 course managers down there that have all got their own brain, and we discuss things, and quite a lot of times I am wrong, but I suppose it makes me a half decent course manager. I could admit that and let other guys run with it. It's important.
Well, I think it's a huge compliment if clubs are recruiting your team because they've known they've gone through your training process.
No, that's what I've always wanted. Really, I'd like to kind of see this place as like some sort of academy for producing quality greenkeepers. I'd be upset, I think, if any of my team left to go to a job at the same level at another course. I'd probably have to question why that had happened. But the last 4 guys that have left have all been promoted, and I've actually, when the jobs come up, I've said, "You think that would suit you?" And you know what? That's me learning quite a lot off my mentor, Lee Struck, because that's what he was like as well. Whenever good jobs came up, Lee wasn't always what to hold on to you. Maybe it was just me wanting to get rid of, but it was always a case of, look, that job would be really good for you, let's go for it. And when all the guys moved on, we did interview training, we did CV training, and we did mock interviews with me, and we worked really hard on making sure that they were going to smash that job interview, which is really important.
Okay, great. The time flies when you're chatting away like this, and I like to give the guys who are watching the chance to ask you questions, and I've seen a couple go by. So let me just go back. One was from one of our ex-students who's, he says, "Hi James, would you ever think about giving up greenkeeping to being a full-time lecturer or trainer?"
Maybe when I'm older. I think just now I'm only 40, you know. I don't know how long I'll keep going for, maybe in my 60s or something like that. Who knows? I've got a really bad back, so it's just, every year that goes past, I think I get getting older and near that kind of thing. But I think I've got a good fight left in me yet. You know, I think I've got a good 20 years. But I think maybe in my last 10 years of my life, I think it's something that would definitely interest me. I've still got a lot to learn, Andrew, to be honest with you. I'm still a very young course manager. I've been 5 years in the job. Every year I learn more and more, but I think I would want to be absolutely on top of it before I'll be a lecturer. You know, someone. I mean, I look at this, there's certain guys in my industry, like your Dan Lightfoot, who's been a lecturer. You know, this is the kind of level that I think I'd need to get to, and I'm a little bit off that yet, if I'm honest.
Okay. And Nikki Curtain, who is the golf course superintendent at our club here at Silver Lakes, is asking, what is your favourite event on your golfing calendar, local and international? That's one of my questions on my list, so we can tick one of mine off, but go for that. Okay.
I probably should say like all the big ones like the Halford Hewitt that are really busy, or open qualifying when we got it. But the weekend, selfishly, that I look forward to the most is called the Outpost Club weekend, which is, we've got 20 guys from America. If you Google the Outpost Club, you'll see it's not they're not a member of a golf club. It's like a kind of metaphor club, I guess. And they come here, and a lot of them, they love it so much that they join, but they're just such a brilliant bunch of guys, all from America, 99% of them. And I really look forward to that weekend because I get to play in it as well as set the course up and show it off. And I think, but unselfishly, it would be like final qualifying. I mean, this year we have got we were supposed to have the senior amateur in July, so we're waiting to find out if that's going to be a la St George's and not till next year or what. I don't know. We're just waiting on the RNA. But if that does get postponed till the end of the year at some point, I look forward to that because I'll treat that as a major. You know, we'll get volunteers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And Paul Armour's asking what your dream job is. I don't think you have to answer that one if you don't want it, but you can.
Dunbar Golf Club, up in where Paul works.
Okay.
No, dream job. This is my dream job. If you told me I only ever wanted to be head greenkeeper of Dumfries and Galway Golf Club, that was all I ever wanted. I used to look at that place, and I still look at it and think, God, I love this place. It's a small budget course in Dumfries, you know, and if you told me back then that you're going to be course manager of Royal Cinque Ports, I'd just laugh in your face. Never in a million years. I walk around here and I pinch myself every day. I've got a fantastic membership. So it's a dream job. I don't know what the next step could be, to be honest with you. I don't. It's a difficult one. Just want to get this place better and get a major.
And last question for now, but I've got to get back to mine. What additional qualifications would you like to do and why?
The next one for me would probably be a degree, but I've just now, to be honest, with work being so hectic, and I've got a young family of 2 and 5, kind of take up all my time. And when we're talking about work-life balance, I do a lot of hours at work, and I don't want to kind of completely do away with my life balance, so just not for me just yet. But I think there's other ways of getting, I mean, qualifications, yeah, fantastic, but as long as you keep up your learning, keep up your webinars, reading your bigger mag, reading greenkeeping books, and or being a part of a WhatsApp group where you're sharing information or going along and meeting up with other greenkeepers. I think this is just I learn as much from doing that as I would do from a degree, in my opinion. But there will come a point in my life where I might think to go down the degree level, but not just now.
Education is definitely changing. The way people
Yeah.
learn these days is definitely different. Okay, what have you got any experience with dealing with American greenkeepers? Do you think that there's a perception change between how greenkeepers are perceived in America to how they're perceived in Europe?
I don't know too many. I've done a few GCS AA's, is that right? And visited a lot of courses, and I was part of the Burns delegation at San Diego. And we visited some golf courses, and it certainly seems a lot more intense there. You know, these guys are. It's high input everything, and everything's got to be absolutely pristine. I think maybe we get off a little bit lighter here with that, but no, one part of my career that I think there's a gap missing. I maybe wish I should have got some warm season experience, whether that had been Australia or America. I would like to have learned something about that, but unfortunately not. So I don't have I don't know too much about the American side.
Okay, all right, cool. If you could build any course anywhere in the world, where would you like to build one?
That's a good question. Myself, me, my wife, and my kids and the dog got a camper van a few years ago, and we drove up to Oban and then through in Scotland through the Highlands, and the whole time I was driving, I was like, you could just picture golf courses, because there's heather, hills, Scots pines, and this is, as much as I'm a links manager just now, I do love a heathland. I love the look of Sunningdale and all these top heathlands. I mean, geez, there's nothing more photogenic than a beautiful heathland. And I think that, I can always picture myself like with a bulldozer, a Cat D6 or a D5 up in the Highlands, wrecking some beautiful landscape and building a golf course. Don't think that'd be allowed. Yeah, that's the most beautiful place for a golf course.
In the West. Okay, and you've kind of answered one of the questions, is what's your favorite? I think you've answered it, but one of your favorite aspects. What's your favorite aspect of being a golf course manager?
Every day is different. I love that. I love how I do all the planning. You could always say you're not getting told what to do, so which is excellent. So you know what you're doing that day. Yeah, I love seeing the place develop, and it's great being in charge. It's stressful, very stressful, but it's I feel very proud to be at Royal Cinque Ports. I think that's the best part of being a course manager, really, and being the head of the team of guys who you get on great with. I think that's the best part.
So your man management is your favourite part, sounds like.
Yes, I think you're. It's as Craig Haldane has always said, it's 20% grass and 80% man management. And I totally believe in that. Your greenkeeping's your bread and butter. You can sort things out there fairly easily, but with people it's completely different, and you need to know how to get the best out of the team. And this is everything we learn every year at FTMI or at Harrogate. I mean, geez, Sammy Strutt puts together an unbelievable roster of courses at Harrogate for anyone that wants to progress, and that's what being a golf course manager is all about. It's not as much about the grass; it's about your planning and your management. I put all my time into that.
Yeah, I took the flight up to Harrogate this year. I didn't get to meet you, but I chatted to Craig a little bit while I was there. Okay,
we'll meet next year.
Yeah, we'll meet next year. Absolutely. Okay, and the again, another question I wanted to touch on, but you've kind of answered it as well, but the importance of having a mentor in your career.
Yes, massively. I would, anyone that wants to better themselves, it's great to have someone looking over you and making sure you're doing the right things, or someone that that can pull you up if you think you're making a fool of yourself, or or someone just at the other end of the phone. Anytime I've ever questioned something I'm going to do here, whether it be about man management or about agronomy, Strutty is one of the first people that I phone, my mentor. But also, another really good thing that I find beneficial is I've got a WhatsApp group with 20 guys on it that from courses all over Britain, and they range from assistant, first assistant, course manager, and I think we've got a rep on there now as well. And get a lot of comfort from that. If you're ever, it's a closed group, so everything's private in it and confidential, and I get a lot of comfort from asking questions on there and confirming maybe what I'm doing is the right thing or the wrong thing. loads of ideas. So I would urge people to get these groups together. You know, they're a super way for brainstorming and getting things off your chest, even, or sharing photos or videos, or as some of the guys' constant photos of Rita Ora, which or Kelly Brook, which end up on there all the time as well. But we'll forget about
them. Okay, all right. Couple of quick fire questions from me before we go back to the viewers. Rugby or football?
Oh, football.
Okay, beer or wine?
Beer.
Okay, and Augusta or St Andrews?
Oh God. Do you know what I'd say? I'd say Augusta, because I know that St Andrews, there might be a chance I might play it in the future. Well, maybe not now after saying that, but it's Augusta, no one's ever going to get a chance of playing that, and I'd love a crack at that, yeah.
Okay, all right. So if they offered you the course manager job at Augusta, you're going to pack your bags and head over there?
Could you imagine how fast that would go downhill? God.
Yeah.
Tournament cancelled.
Okay, so also another thing for that to assist the students of the African Turf Academy is volunteering at tournaments. How often do you do that? And do you think there's value in that?
Massive value. We have volunteers come here, look after them. I make sure I put a proper programme for them, get them somewhere to stay, make sure they're fed and watered, and after their morning shift I'll sort their golf out for them, so they're not just coming here and working. A nice incentive for them to have a whole experience. Volunteering myself, done loads of it. One of the coolest ones I ever did was the Amiga Masters in Switzerland at Cran-sur-Sierre. Hands down the most stunning golf course I've ever seen. And yeah, I really push all the team to do it. So one of my guys has done Crans, one did the Irish Open last year, a couple of boys have done Hill. And last year, I try and keep my hand in it as well, so it's just not them, because I think there's also, even at this level, there's still something to be learned from it, whether that be watching a peer man manage or seeing how they've set things up. And last year I went to Stoneham for the European Ladies, which was a hand-picked tournament maybe. But the Grant Peters down there and Tom Brearley, two of the best guys in the business, and loved that, really loved that. And I was just out hand cutting, and it's great to do that as well. You know, take your mind off it, so you're not always your head's not always fried with the stress of everyday man management or course management. You know, it's great to do that as well. But I volunteer, and it's the only industry in the world I think that happens, and you can't imagine someone going to help someone else finish building their office or their house. Whereas at greenkeeping, we do it all the time because we know that the guys will come back, they'll have more zest for the job and great ideas. And I'm a big advocate for volunteering, definitely.
And is there any on your bucket list that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
I would like to do an Open. That'd be cool. I was meant to be doing the one at Portrush last year, but I couldn't make it due to work. I think that'd be good. But I mean, there's a part of me that would maybe fancy doing something like one of the Emirates courses, just so I can maybe learn a little bit about warm season and get a tan. The Scotsman would fry across there. I don't know if we'll be able to handle that. But yeah, I think something like that would be good.
Okay. All right. I'm pretty much through all my stuff. Couple of little ones at the end. If there's any questions that you want for James while we've got him on, fire away now. Is there anything simple stuff now? Anything that you would like to see golfers do that they don't normally do that would help greenkeepers? Apart from
pitch marks. I think just be understanding. Really, I spend a lot of time here, and it's one of the kind of reasons why we've been reasonably successful with getting through to the golfers and getting what we want. A lot of the time is educating them. So if they take the time to listen to a vlog entry you've done, or read your blog, or read your report, or whatever, I think that's the biggest thing that they could do. Really interact with greenkeepers. And the brilliant thing about Royal Cinque Ports is they made me a member, so I'm welcome. In fact, so that's where I'm just now. I'm up in the clubhouse just now. This isn't actually my office, but it's great to wander through a clubhouse and speak to members, because then they never have to second guess what you're doing. You can give them the answers there and then. So I think members should really interact with the greenkeepers and find out exactly why they're doing things, and not just like the sand issue is always my bugbear here. Every time I put sand down, there's always a grumble, but people need to understand how unbelievably important it is. So I've done relentless amounts of videos and talks and presentations. If anyone's interested, they go to our YouTube channel, so just Royal Cinque Ports on the YouTube, and I think that's it. They just need to kind of interact with us, really.
Yeah, I think these days the communication from the club manager or the course manager is so much easier and needs to be used to its full capacity. And then also playing with the guys, I assume, because you're a member, you play golf now, huh?
Yes, I've got my name in gold leaf on a couple of. We should actually have held an interview outside that. I joked to my boss that I was going to do that, which would have been cringy. But I've won a couple of doubles tournaments, 8. But I'm not. Do you know what? I've won these doubles tournaments because I had really good partners. It's pretty much like my work life. I managed to run a really good golf course because I've got a great team. So you pick good doubles partners. One of the boys was off scratch, and the lady that I won the mixed with is a very good golfer as well. So I just trundle up the fairway. They nail up the fairway. I skin it onto the green, and they hold a big putt. And it's repeat all the way around. So yeah. But playing here makes a big difference, and I really believe in. A chef tastes its food. You've got to play your golf course. It's essential. All the guys, we try and get them out as much as possible and play other golf courses.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that. There's someone asking if there's a Dumfries link between the two, and he seems to know me, so I'm not sure. Marcus MSR.
Marcus Rafferty.
Marcus Rafferty.
Do you know Marcus Rafferty? I've written a lot of music and stuff, and Marcus remixed some of the songs that I'd written. He's a wizard. He's a really good guy. Do you know Marcus there?
I don't know. He seems to know me, but I'm not sure. Can't remember. But also the most famous musician from Dumfries is Calvin Harris, right?
Oh God, apparently, yeah. It's not my scene, but yeah, everyone sees him. It's interesting. All my friends play in his band, which is good. He took his band from the Frozen Isle section of Marks and Spencer's, as opposed to doing session musicians. So fair dues to him. Hats off.
Okay. All right, good stuff. And James, how do people get hold of you if they want to contact you? Have you got a social media handle? So he said he went to St. Joe's. Okay.
Yeah, he must have went to school, yeah. I would imagine Marcus a bit. Yeah, it's just at James Bledge for Twitter. I see social media as Facebook's my kind of personal thing, much like Craig said last week. Instagram is kind of like that as well. I just put all my best photos on there, and Twitter I use solely for work, so it's just at James Bledge. And our YouTube channel is just Royal Cinque Ports, I think. But that's the YouTube channel. I've put a lot of work into. It's pretty cool. I enjoy that part of it.
Okay, good stuff. All right, James, that's all from me. Thanks again for your time. It's been great.
I was going to show you something quick. I was going to show you something quickly, if you like.
Okay.
I was going to show you if I can. Can I turn this around?
You can. You can press.
Right, cool. No. So we're in. I was just going to walk you outside and show you what the golf course looks like from our clubhouse. So this is the bar just now. As you can see, there's no one in. So I'm going to go and help myself to a pint of Guinness in a second.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
So we've got one of the best balconies in the whole of golf.
Nice.
This is you can see right out to sea there, and this is the first coming down that when we were talking earlier about grandstands, I would envisage a great grandstand across here where these rushes are, and then up to the first green, which is there's a ditch in front of that. But I mean, it's a stunning clubhouse.
No, I played there. I played it.
Oh, you played it? All right, excellent, good.
Yeah, I actually won a big pro tournament next door at Prince's one day. If you go to the Prince's, you'll see my name. I won the MasterCard professional tournament over there back in the day, long time, many moons ago. So,
well, you're welcome to come back for a game. I think it's a good idea to come back for a game next time.
Well, I was planning to come to the Open, so I'll definitely be there next year.
Excellent, good. Well, we'll look forward to hosting you.
Okay. All right, James. Thanks again. Thanks for your time, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, thanks for asking me. It's been a privilege. Thank you very much.
All right, James. Good luck with the season ahead, and I hope to get the golfers back out there. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
it won't be long. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, James.